VoyMonk video voice vlog. And, man, I think I went in kind of a doozy on Monday as far as the comedy and news and how they kind of basically merge. I meant to basically talk about my favorite comedy. Satire, like I said, The Onion is definitely one of them. I love The Daily Show back in the day, as being comedy. But mostly when I think of comedy, and I don't fancy myself a comedian at all, even though we have a hell of a lot more comedians, people who think they're comedians, along with doctors, lawyers, and a lot of other things online. But yeah, I would say that hopefully that didn't come across as too negative. But like I said, I do love comedy. I think comedy is, like I said, I have lots of different, kinds of comedy that I like. I generally like dry comedy. Although I don't know, and some people call it dark comedy. Some people like dark comedy, but I think as my life has evolved and changed and I've gotten older, and of course as those particular forms of comedy have found more audiences and bigger audiences and whatever, I think I generally kind of don't like the dark or dry comedy that's forced or overly formulated, meaning you can kind of see it coming. As with any other kind of comedy, I think that sometimes too on the nose is just exactly that, too on the nose. It's not that I think that comedy, like anything else, should be complicated or sophisticated either. I just genuinely like when comedy, at least, I don't know, it doesn't necessarily speak to anything per se, but it's more about the person who's observing it kind of relating to the emotional or the social experience, I guess. And I know that I'm being way too wordy with that, but they give specifics. I don't know. I think Wednesday, the newer show that came out with Jenna Ortega, I liked the first season. I haven't seen the second season yet, or I'm not even sure if it's out yet. I gotta find out. But yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was a little on the nose. I liked the Addams Family. I'm not a big Tim Burton fan. I do like some of the stuff that he's done, but I'm not the person that's likely just going to see something because Tim Burton did it, or think that anything that Tim Burton touches is the greatest thing ever made. But be that as it may, I liked the things that I've seen that he's done. But yeah, like I said, I felt like Wednesday was in some ways a little too on the nose, but I could definitely see things coming in terms of, I don't know. I guess I would say that it's maybe, even though I liked it, it was probably more for a younger audience that wasn't quite as maybe as familiar with Tim Burton. I don't really like, what are they? Not exactly parody movies. I mean, I did like Airplane. I did like, some movies and stuff like that kind of lampooned and made fun of other things. But again, when it's at one point it was overly done, overly saturated. It's like clockwork. Every 3 to 6 months, there was always something that was making fun of something else. But it was usually in ways that, that weren't particularly clever or anything like that, at least to me. Like I said, as far as stand-up comedians, I think I might save that a little bit for tomorrow, because running into the 5-minute mark a little bit. But yeah, I'm also going to talk about some of my favorite YouTube, I think, comedy channels. So yeah, until next time, take care.